Hello jazz people, welcome back to Teaching Jazz, where we dive deep into jazz education. Today we're exploring an essential skill for any jazz musician to understand: comping. Whether you're a student trying to find your way into jazz or an educator honing your teaching techniques, this video will give you practical insights into getting comping right. First off, what does comping even mean? In jazz, comping refers to a style of accompanying a soloist or group using chords in improvised rhythms. Comping is one of the fundamental roles of the rhythm section. It could be a pianist, a guitarist, a drummer, or even a bass player laying down a supportive and a responsive backdrop that enhances a soloist's performance and the overall ensemble. Comping's usually improvised. Players create an interactive accompaniment in real time to go with what everybody else in the band is playing moment by moment. While there are styles of playing where comping is often pre-planned or generic, like in bossa nova, or strict Cuban styles. The main meaning implied by the term comping involves improvising the accompaniment in real time. So comping isn't just about playing chords, it's about interaction, listening and responding to what's happening in the music in real time. It's a dynamic and often subtle art form where the choices you make can elevate a performance or ruin it. Now that we understand the basics of comping, let's dive into how different instruments approach it in unique ways. Techniques for comping. Let's break down some of the main ways different instruments might comp. Chordal instruments. For pianists and guitarists, it's about varying your chord voicings, your rhythms, and also using voice leading to add a melodic aspect to your comping. Think about inversions, extensions, alterations, and even when to be silent to let the music breathe. So that's how chordal players comp, but what about drummers and bass players? What does effective comping look like for them? Let's find out. Drummers comp too, actually in more or less the same way as pianists and guitarists, but using rhythms and indefinite pitches instead of chords. Comping on drums can use any part of the kit, but most often it's done on the snare drum, the bass drum and the tom-toms, punctuated by cymbals. Drum comping is often improvised moment by moment in response to what's being played by a soloist in the melody of a tune or other parts of the rhythm section. This way of comping can create a dynamic, busy effect. Very busy drum comping and drum fills can seem indistinguishable at times. So if you're a drummer, you might also go for a less frenetic effect with simple repeating patterns that have the effect of locking in the time. An example in a swing style would be playing a snare drum cross stick on beat 4 of each bar. As with chordal instruments, sometimes no drum comping is what the music needs. It might be that all the drummer needs to do is play time. Bass players also can comp. They use rhythmic and harmonic variations to interact with soloists and the ensemble, but they very rarely play chords. Mostly jazz bassists work comping techniques into their bass lines. Some examples can include pedaling, fills, and mirroring or echoing ideas played by others in the band. For bass players, comping is usually in addition to their traditional role of playing time. Learning to comp effectively. So, how can you improve your comping skills? Listen and transcribe. Study recordings of great performances to hear how the pros comp. Practice with others. There's no substitute for real-time playing. Jam sessions and regularly playing in an improvising jazz band are invaluable. Experiment. Try different patterns, rhythms, and different harmonies to discover what works best for the music that you're playing. Watch some of my other videos about comping techniques. You can also find other useful videos here on YouTube. Just search, there's a lot of them out there. Comping is an art form that requires as much listening as playing, knowing when to play and when to pause. Whether you're teaching it or learning it, the key is to remain musically sensitive and responsive to your bandmates. If you want to learn a potentially game-changing method for teaching and learning comping in jazz, watch this video next. Right now, there's no sales pitch, no course, nothing to buy, no Patreon. I just share this information with you because I think it's important. I ask nothing in return, but if you could subscribe to the channel and press the like button, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel, and it encourages me. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.